Okay, welcome back to the Leadership Summit. You're here with Daryl, Keeley, your host, and also with Betska, K-Burr. Betska is going to be talking to us today about the 5 secret insights to becoming a driver of positive change for you, your people, and your organisation. Betska Burr is an accredited master coach of IIC and co-president of Coaching Leadership International. She's an accredited master coach with over 5,500 client coaching hours since 1995. As an international executive and life coach and confidant to individuals and groups in 20 countries, CXOs, senior government officials, ambassadors, royalty, TV stars, TV news anchors, and star athletes. Betska is co-president at Coaching and Leadership International, having developed over 80 award-winning coaching methodologies which enrich leaders' competencies and bring peace to their life. She leads the instructor team at CLI school, where leaders learn how to coach their employees. Betska is an industry pioneer in whole-brain coaching methods which generate high-level ROI. Affectionately known as the Guru Coach by her students and clients, Betska is a Canadian best-selling author of many books including Creating Champions, Flying by the Seat of Your Plans, Building a Booming Business, and The God in Coaching, The Key to a Happy Life. As a former international head of accreditation for a global governing body in the coaching industry, Betska led the team who assessed coaches around the world on their coaching skills. Business awards include 2003 and 2007 awards for innovation, the 2009 Lifetime Achievement Award, the 2010 most prestigious award, the Pride of the HR Profession Award in Mumbai in India. Betska has vast experience. She has held multiple positions, including senior executive with international companies such as Lanier and 3M, and as a servant to the Canadian Foreign Service, holding 3 European posts. In her spare time, doesn't sound like you get much, Betska. She's a voracious reader, meditates for lengthy periods of time every day, loves to garden, and takes pride in feeding her family with healthy vegan food, enjoys hikes and yoga. Betska is a student and teacher of living true family values such as courage, devotion, faith, generosity, and love. And I'm quite sure today that it's going to be quite an interesting discussion. All your questions, if you could please email them through to me. We'll be taking question time at the end of this particular talk, just based on the content that's being provided that best suits that style. So put your seatbelts on, lock yourself in, and enjoy the ride. Betska, over to you.
Thank you, Daryl. Because we're starting 9 minutes late, do I get an extra 9 minutes?
Yes, why not?
Okay, that sounds great. Well, thank you, Daryl, and thank you, everyone, for joining me here today on the Be a Star webinar. I trust you can all see my slides. I am really excited to be here with all of you today, and I deeply respect your time and commitment to being here. Therefore, what I'd really like to do is share some very real content for real application in your life and work. What I'm presenting is really 25 years of focused research. And you know what? I wish I had known this 25 years ago. So those of you who are younger leaders on the call, I'm so happy that I'm going to be sharing this with you. And I'm sure those of you who are my age and older, that you will, I'm praying that you will also get a lot out of this. I'd like to open with a very important story. And it's a story of an oil and gas company here in Canada that hired CLI to come in and do a year-long leadership in action transformational program for their leaders. The CEO, when he talked to me, said that, the guys at the top, all the senior executives, including him, did not need any more coaching, that some of them had coaches. And when I asked him what that coaching looked like, and he said, well, I meet with this guy every Friday night at the pub, and over a glass of beer we share ideas and thoughts and so on. And I kind of chuckled to myself, and I thought, I'm not sure if this is real coaching or not. But anyway, he went on to say that his middle managers were and I'm sure you know what I'm going to say, that the middle managers were the troublemakers, yeah? And that the senior guys were not taking any, not being accountable at all for the story. So as it goes, I would only sign the contract and deliver this year-long program if the senior group, if these senior leaders actually came to part of the program, which was a 3-day retreat. And anyway, they came, and what happened was when the guys came to the senior retreat, they started to learn a coaching skill set, not your average coaching skill set. We're talking about a scientific method, which I'm going to share with you here today. Make a long story short, it was not a year, it was 3/4 of the way into the program where we had to stop because they had broken through the silos. We had middle managers coaching the senior guys coaching the middle managers, and so on. So all of this anger and frustration and fear and all that garbage that was keeping these guys and gals from communicating in a harmonious way went out the window. And get this, 3/4 of the way through the program, they had increased their sales so dramatically that they had to increase their staff by 25%. So this is a massive story about how transformation can really happen today. And for those of you who are sitting there and thinking, well, we've tried everything, I can tell you so many stories about leaders who've tried everything and then they pay attention to these 5 secrets and their life changes. So I pray the same thing will happen to you. Here's a wonderful slide. Daryl mentioned we're Canadian, and this is, I'm at the front of the boat, and my husband John Burr is at the back of the kayak. And we are co-presidents of the company. I started the company in 1991. John joined in 1999, and at that time it was over his dead body that he would join my company. But now we are equal co-presidents. We own the company together, and this is what we do in our spare time. You can see the joy in our faces, and this is what we believe all leaders should have is, living serenely inside of themselves, feeling very peaceful and happy and being harmonious. And, of course, we have our moments. But John and I have learned together, we've, developed these methodologies together and the theory together, and we can enjoy each other's lives because we can coach each other on the most sensitive issues. I could be coaching him, and he's angry at me, right? But I have to stay neutral when I'm coaching him. I can't get upset. My ego has to be in the back garden. So anyway, I pray that what I'm sharing with you today you will see that in the end, if you encourage yourself to take on these 5 secrets, you too can be sitting in a kayak like this, enjoying nature as we are there. Vancouver Island on Western Canada is truly beautiful. Very clear waters, very clean, very pristine. Great place to write. Who is CLI? Well, Daryl told you a little bit about us. Since 1991, we've been a research and development company in human behavior, and that's the key thing for you to know. We're a coaching, training, consulting company. Since 1995, we believed that the industry needed a paradigm shift, and since then we've developed these 80-plus results-oriented, award-winning coaching and leadership methodologies. We have a large global team of power coaches and trainers in various countries around the world, and our coach training programs are accredited and approved by a couple of the major governing bodies in the world. That's all you need to know, really. Well, what I'm sharing with you today is what is expected of leaders today, what it takes today to be outrageously impactful and engage every person at all levels of your organization and stand out like a star in your field. You already stand out. We're talking about standing out even more so. To be absolutely brilliant as you lead yourself and others using both logic and heart-centered leadership. In the old days, in the 90s when I first started, I'd have leaders say to me, heart-centered leadership? We don't want any of that fluff around here, But Stephen Covey, God bless him, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he was one of the first leadership gurus to bring to the world the fact that we need to have an equal IQ and EQ when we're leading our people. So keep that in mind as we move along through this presentation today. And, of course, at the end, if you want to learn more, you want to go deeper, well, we'll provide that opportunity as well. What are your challenges as a leader? Slide 6. See that guy looking at his watch up there? Well, I know from all the people that I coach, and Daryl mentioned, I coach people in 20-some I have coached, not all at the same time. Good God, I couldn't manage the workload, but all of my leaders are facing unparalleled pressures and problems and workloads. How do you do it all? I ask them, how do you do it all? And they must get it discouraged, and they do, especially when there's a lot of upheaval and chaos being thrown in from the top, you know. Maybe there are mergers and acquisitions, or maybe there's a change of leadership at the top, or maybe there's pension plans are being cut, or you have to freeze salaries for 5 years. You know, it can get pretty tough on someone's heart, you know. So then on top of all that, job advancement and security often hinge not only on your performance, but also on the performance and success of your team.
Yeah.
Are the significant problems you face at work and in your personal life keeping you up at night? I know some of the people I coach, you know, just last week I had a woman, she said, I can't sleep. I'm just exhausted. Things are always running through my head. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right, you know? Are your best intentions and efforts falling short of creating the impact, change, or growth that you would like? Do you find yourself amidst a reactive swirl of people in conflict and competition? Well, you're not alone. As I've already said, our clients in 20-plus countries have the same challenges. Without exception, I have to tell you, without exception. It's almost like all leaders in the globe have the same patterns that they're running. It's a fascinating thing for someone who studies human behavior. Now, from that context, I'm going to invite you to imagine, see that rainbow there? When we look at a rainbow, we always feel peaceful and calm, just like that image I had of us in the kayak, yeah? Whenever someone sees a rainbow in the sky, we feel peaceful. And notice there's a double rainbow in the sky and a third one reflecting in the water. Everybody feels peaceful when they see a rainbow. So imagine that you're seeing this rainbow in the sky and you're turning all this around and you're experiencing great results and return on your effort. Very high ROI. Imagine that you are on top of your game in your life, and so are others around you. Imagine employee engagement, satisfaction, and success is amplified, including your bottom line. Relationships work in tandem for both harmony and productivity. And you know, a lot of people promise this, but it falls flat in the end. With these 5 secrets, you won't fall flat. Your innovative ideas find solid ground on which to create the growth and change. I have many people say to me, we've got all these innovative ideas, but we present them and they don't go anywhere. They don't take hold. They don't root themselves. So then you lose an opportunity, right? It's important to give our employees some methodologies that they can use to root those innovative solutions and ground them so that they can take off. Imagine that you have the skills and tools to greet and meet every challenge, roadblock, and problem. Imagine that you are now a confident driver of positive change for yourself, for your people, and for your organization. Imagine that you are indispensable. When we did our research on all of this, we found that leaders were getting so downtrodden that they weren't feeling indispensable at all. In fact, they were feeling quite powerless. So we want to help you get your power back, or more of your power back. If you have a lot of power, get more of it. So what I'm sharing with you today here is precisely the very foundation of CLI's leadership and coach training. These 5 secret insights are the vehicle to get you to where you want to be as the driver of positive change and growth for yourself, your people, and your organization. And again, I wish someone had taught me this 25 years ago. My God, things would have been so easy. So as in the advertisement, what I'm going to share with you today is to assist you to more greatly excel as a leader, to stand firmly in your power as you upgrade self-defeating thoughts, words, and actions into positive ones. You might say to me, Betska, I don't have any of those. I guarantee you, you do. Since 1995, I have removed over 15,000 subconscious roadblocks, things that were sabotaging me and my progress in the world. If I hadn't removed those, I wouldn't be working with Daryl here today, I guarantee you. So it's the subconscious ones that are self-defeating. The conscious ones we can usually work through. We will help you amplify your strengths and lead strong with both logic and heart. Recognize that you and your people can absolutely, positively change given the appropriate tools and support. Engage your teams like never before and sleep peacefully knowing that everything is under control. Solve problems and achieve goals with greater ease. And last but not least, love and lead yourself as strategic thinking becomes your strong suit. I think you can hear from my voice that I feel very strongly about these 5 secrets. They're not just, put into some cloud somewhere. These are grounded in reality. And I want to show you the slide, number 10, about the actual phenomenal ROI for leaders who have adopted the 5 secrets. The first one, leader number 1, this woman was quite interesting. When I first started coaching with her, she said she would walk into a meeting with her staff and she would wonder why they were having the meeting. She would say to me, if only they'd listen to me, Betska, we would have these problems solved in no time. Well, I knew what her score was on the DISC score before I even started coaching her, right? Incredibly forceful, incredibly domineering, yeah? It was her way or the highway. She didn't want to listen to anybody's ideas. Her ideas were the best ones, and everybody else can go fly a kite. And so I had to coach her with her into her subconscious mind to find out why she was so domineering. Why was she so forceful? Why was she having trouble engaging her people? I had to teach her things like WAIT, W-A-I-T. Do you folks know what that means? For a leader, what that means is to stop when you walk into a meeting, to stop, and if you begin talking too much, you remember, Betska, bringing in the W-A-I-T, which stands for Why Am I Talking?
I like it.
Good one, Daryl, huh? Yeah. And this leader did not know how to facilitate. She lectured all the time. She did not know how to foster development of others. Forget about building the team and building external relations. My God, we had to help her become a friend to herself first. So in the end, after a year-long actually, no, it wasn't even a year. I think it was about 3/4 of a year, something like that. Look at the competency change. She is no longer domineering. She changed 600% from where she was to where she ended up. Listening well went 700% change. Facilitating versus lecturing, 100%, and you can read the rest. Leader number 2, this guy was the opposite. He was a follower. He was not a leader. And his D score on the DISC score was at the bottom of the intensity. In the end, he was so proud of himself. He managed to get his D up. His change was 300%. More positive, focused on opportunities versus negative thinking. This guy was a real negative thinker. 100% change. More influential, 250% change. Being able to deal with confrontation, 167%, et cetera, et cetera. And I just put a few up here. But this is a type of ROI you folks as leaders should be getting in your organizations. Or you as consultants and speakers and trainers and coaches, if you're not getting this type of ROI, please pay attention to these 5 secrets. This is what you want to get. Because I'll tell you, one of my clients I was working with recently, and CLI is just one of providing to some executive coaches to this large organization. And he was having lunch with his fellow executives, and he said, so how is the coaching working for you? And 20% of those executives said that they were not getting anything from their executive coaching sessions. They weren't getting anything. 20%, that's too high, folks. We have a major problem in this industry around that. So your free gift today from just listening to this program is a Be a Star coaching model. It includes an MP3 training. And so take it away, listen to it, and I hope it resonates with you, and then go and try it. But I'll talk more about it at the end. So thank you for joining me and sharing in some incredible research today. The key program philosophy is based on this guy. Anybody know who he is? He's very famous. And, if you know the name of this guy, send an email to Daryl. And if you get it right, then the first person who gets it right, I'll send you a free copy of my book, okay? The God in Coaching, The Key to a Happy Life. And this gentleman said that what a man learns is really what he discovers by taking the cover off his own soul, which is a mine of infinite knowledge. All knowledge that the world has ever received comes from the mind. The infinite library of the universe is in your own mind. So what this gentleman is saying is that we are all brilliant inside. We are all geniuses. And I know with some of your employees, some of your clients, you're really questioning that, right? But believe me, they are all Einstein, Da Vinci, Plato, Confucius, Everybody's brilliant inside. It's just that we need to learn how to take the cover off of that soul, which is where the brilliance resides. And that's what these 5 secrets are about. Okay, so are you ready? Let's go into these. You ready, Daryl?
Yep.
Okay, you got your seatbelt on? Okay. So 5 secrets to being a driver of positive change and growth for you, your people, and your organization. Here comes number 1. Activate whole brain thinking. What does that mean? Okay, a few slides on that. You all know this left brain, right brain stuff. I'm sure you do. You know that the left brain is usually about analytical and sequencing. The left hemisphere is about innovation, solutions, emotions, intuition, connection to spirit, God, universal energy, whatever you want to call it. Left brain is usually, we talk about IQ, which is knowledge. Right brain is EQ, wisdom. We also know, and CLI knows from our research, that this is not always the case. Sometimes our clients have transposed hemispheres, and yes, we have tests for that people who sometimes the right brain skills are in their left hemisphere and vice versa. I don't care where it is. The point is we want to be able to use both sides of the brain equally. And as Stephen Covey says here, IQ plus EQ equals full power. Remember I mentioned that at the beginning? Stephen said when a person has access to both the intuitive, creative, and visual right brain and the analytical, logical, verbal left brain, then the whole brain is working. We lost a big giant last year, didn't we, when he passed away? I was a big hero of Stephen Covey. Leaders become indispensable when they become whole brain thinkers. Remember, this is secret number 1, right? So we call it here at CLI pentalateral thinking. I Googled. I was trying to find out, how I would describe whole brain thinking, and I couldn't find it, so I made up a term. It's called pentalateral. 5, right? So every leader should be using, and every employee too, by the way, should be using their left hemisphere, their right hemisphere, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the superconscious mind. Subconscious meaning where our habits, our patterns, and our beliefs are stored, positive and negative. You know how you remember things that happened from your childhood or your best swimming hole or when you won your first cricket match or whatever the case may be? You remember that. How do you remember that? Because your third eye, your pineal gland, recorded it, and it goes directly into your subconscious mind. And then the superconscious mind is your genius. That's your Einstein, Da Vinci, Plato. That's the piece. So what we have learned from all our research that is incredibly important for a leader and every being on the planet, including teenagers, my God. What we're giving you here today, I hope you take home and use with your teenagers. They really need it, huh? Yeah. Lots of stories to tell you there, but I want to make sure I get through the material. So remember this, pentalateral thinking. Write it down. If you have any questions at the end, please ask me about this. So we believe every leader should learn how to do this and then use it with their employees, use it on yourselves, use it with your wife, your husband, your children, anybody. So activating whole brain thinking. Why is it important? How are you going to benefit? Well, look at this. You will think faster. You will solve problems faster. Doesn't that sound great already? Huh? Faster access to your intuition, your higher power. You will be seen as a stronger leader, a source of inspiration to help others. And you're going to feel awesome inside. More peaceful and content, I guarantee you. It's such an amazing feeling to activate whole brain thinking because you're not missing anything out. And imagine yourself walking into a meeting now. This is what happens with the leaders that I coach or the people who come through our coach training programs or our leadership programs. They become whole brain thinkers. And they've already got solutions to the problem. They're going into a meeting and they already have the solution because they've been able to bring it in, just like Einstein did with the with the theory of relativity. How cool is that? This is cutting-edge research here, folks. So secret number 1, activate whole brain thinking by activating it. This is how leaders like you are standing out like a star in their field in all the different countries where CLI has been training. Let's go to secret number 2. You ready for this one?
Yep.
Okay. This is a great... What's that, Daryl?
I'm ready.
You're ready, okay. So this is ensuring that we have agreement in our conscious and subconscious minds. Remember what I said. We know the conscious mind, we're using that right now, huh? But the subconscious is where all of our memories are stored, our beliefs and all that is stored. So let's take a look at this. This is very important for leaders to understand. You see the conscious mind and subconscious are shaking hands. A belief in our conscious mind must be congruent with that same belief in our subconscious mind. Only then can we move forward in a sustainable way. I'll give you an example. So let's say some of you here on the call are sales managers. And you've got a salesperson who comes in and says to you, Daryl, I believe that you've given me a forecast of $1.5 million this year. That's how much product I have to sell. And I believe I can do it. But you as the leader, Daryl, you've been trained in these 5 secrets and in some of these coaching methodologies, yeah? So you start coaching your salesperson, and you know what you find out? The subconscious mind of your salesperson is saying, no, you don't, no, you don't, no, you don't. You don't believe that you can sell $1.5 million in product. And why you don't believe it is because you don't believe the product is strong enough. You believe the competition has better. Competition is stronger. You believe that your customer service is lousy. Yeah? And it might even come out that the salesperson doesn't believe they're getting the right support at home or at work. So here you've got the beliefs in the conscious mind, the salesperson saying, yeah, I can do it. But the subconscious mind is saying, no. You have to change the beliefs in the subconscious mind to be congruent and positive with the conscious mind in order to move forward. Is that clear, Daryl? Did I explain it well?
Yeah, I think it was quite good actually. I could see that actually in some of the people that we recruit for, and also in some of my past staff, and probably some of my existing staff as well, and myself. So
yeah, we all have it. We all have it, including me. The stuff I pull out of my subconscious is amazing. And to me, it's like Christmas. I love pulling it out because I know if it's positive, I can celebrate it. And if there's something in there that's not quite right, I flip it into a positive and re-anchor the positive belief in my subconscious and kick out the negative. And that's how easy it is, really. Dr. Bruce Lipton, he has written many books, The Wisdom of Your Cells, Biology of Belief. I'm sure many of our listeners here today know of Bruce. I love this guy. John and I have studied with him, many stories to tell there. But Bruce says that 95 to 99% of our daily behaviors are operated by our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind is 1 million times more powerful than our conscious mind. So, again, we have to make sure that our conscious mind beliefs are congruent with our subconscious. The subconscious mind processes some 20 million environmental stimuli per second. That's how fast that pineal gland is. Record, yeah? But the conscious mind, so slow. It processes 40 stimuli per second. So who's running the show? It's very obvious, yeah? The subconscious. And how is the subconscious mind going to manage our affairs? Precisely the way it was programmed. So as a leader, our programming could be negative, and that's why I've got this funny-looking guy, this face here. Because these beliefs are subconscious, we may not even be aware that they exist. Let me repeat that. Because they're subconscious, you may not be aware that they exist. Here are some examples. and these are from our clients, our students, are from all over the place. I do not have faith in my employees and supervisor that we can permanently change our behaviors. One guy, very, 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 very senior guy in government here in Canada, and very first coaching session, he said to me, Betska, I don't believe that my people can change. I don't believe that my direct reports, and he had a huge downline. He said, I don't believe my people can change. Well, my God, if you don't have hope, then you don't deserve to be a leader, do you? If you don't believe in your people, you don't deserve to be leading those people. You must have faith in them. You must believe in them. You must change your subconscious beliefs to have total belief and faith in them. Make sense? Yeah. Number 2, I don't have great respect for my employee, supervisor, or my customers. What I'm saying here is that people carry a lot of judgment with them. We have to get rid of the judgment. The judgment gets in the way of our working with these beautiful people, yeah? We may have the filter on that says they're incompetent, but it may not be them that's incompetent. We want to look at ourselves. Maybe we're the ones who are incompetent. You know what I'm saying? This is tough stuff to swallow, but I'm just telling the truth here today. More subconscious negative programming. I'm not passionate. Oh, yeah, I missed one. I lack self-confidence to achieve goals. I don't love myself. I lack courage. I lack patience and tolerance. I'm afraid to admit I'm wrong. I feel it's okay to steal from the company, like Post-it notes, pens, People think that's a good thing. I want to promote myself instead of working for the success of the organization. I got a email from one of my clients today that I just finished off, and she said, Betska, at the beginning, I realized now that I was really self-centered. I was really self-absorbed. And through working with you, I am no longer that. Wow, huge breakthrough, for this person. So I could go on forever. But the good news is, like this leader that I got the email from, if you practice these 5 secrets, you will change all of this negative programming into positive, and then imagine your power. Just imagine the power you're going to have. It's pretty exciting. It's like going to the moon, with Chris Hadfield. So he's a Canadian astronaut, those of you who remember. I just love that guy. Okay. So in other words, there's absolutely no need to hold on to this negative programming. With CLI's research into how we can change our behaviors permanently, notice the word permanently. We're not talking about temporary change. We can easily discover our subconscious negative programming and kick it out. And I'm not going to go into cell biology here. I'd love to, but, I'm looking at the time here. I don't even have it on the slides because it can get a little complex. But just remember that every time you cannot achieve a goal or overcome a challenge, it's because you've got receptors that are sitting on the membranes of your thinking cells that are constricted, and they're stuck. That energy is stuck, and we just need to kick it out. So there's hope. Even for the people who are 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, they can change, I promise you.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's very powerful. So secret number 2, the agreement in conscious and subconscious. Why is this important, and how do you benefit? Well, you're going to get rid of things that have been bugging you for years. Understand why you do the things you do. Kick out negative beliefs, replace it with the positive. Get a life again. Greatly reduce stress. Become fearless. Become hugely more confident. For some reason, the story is coming forward. Many years ago, when I first started to learn about this work, this type of work, and I had an incredible teacher. She was coaching me one day, and I was complaining bitterly about my husband, John, who is now our co-president here at CLI, right? I was complaining bitterly about him that he was a lousy communicator and blaming our marriage on him. Well, my coach taking me into my subconscious mind got me to see that if the mirror, that the mirror exists, if I am angry at my husband that he's a lousy communicator, guess what? I also am a lousy communicator. Tough stuff to swallow, I tell you. Looking at that mirror side, right? So, but I knew what she said was powerful. I took the positive beliefs, put them into my subconscious mind, and John came home from work, And I said, honey, I need to apologize to you. For the last 5 years, I've been blaming you for the rough roads in our marriage, and I realize today that I am equally responsible. And the look on his face was amazing. And from then on, our marriage sped forward because, I was not approaching our marriage with ego anymore. I was taking responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Very important, whether it's in our home life or our professional life. So, secret number 2, agreement in conscious and subconscious minds. This is how leaders like you are breaking through what has stopped them from achieving their greatest dreams. We all deserve to stand out like a star in our field. Am I right? We all deserve to stand out like a star. Ready for secret number 3?
Yep.
Cool. Number 3 is about acknowledging and amplifying strengths of self and others. So here's a chart. It's a CLI values chart, and there are, I think, 76 values of the human spirit here. And your people can order this list, or they can also share with you, some ideas here on how to amplify strengths of self and others. You can also download a free app for your iPad from the Apple Store. It's called CLI Values Cards. So what you just saw on that screen is also on a free app. Do download it. It's got a fantastic process on there. So here are 3 ways that you can use, these values to amplify your strengths, or, use the app. Think of someone who recently caused you to be upset or angry. Next, think of something they did that was a great thing. It could be an employee, right, who's made you angry or upset. Now think of something they did that was a great thing. And flip the energy. Go up to them and say, Sally, I would like to honor you for the diligence you display by achieving your goals on time. This means that others never have to wait for you. Thank you so much for this kindness. So energetically, if you're angry at someone, does that someone feel it? Do they know it at some level? Of course they feel it. You don't even have to say anything. They can feel it. It's like when you're in a meeting, a big meeting, you're sitting around a boardroom and someone's shooting daggers at you, and they don't even have to say anything. You feel it. Energetically, we are sending those daggers as well. So in order to help flip your relationship around, to strengthen, amplify the strengths of yourself and others, think of someone that upsets you. Flip that energy around, just like I said here. Number 2, think of a value, from this deck of values like love, and let me go back to that. Values like balance, assertiveness, faith, love, purity, steadfastness, wonder, understanding, right? These are all values of the human spirit. So think of a value you would like to demonstrate at work and at home, such as respect, faith, and courage, and then spend the entire day doing things that demonstrate that value to yourself and others. So courage. So you pick a value on your iPad or on this list, and you demonstrate it all throughout the day. This is really about leadership reflection, a great leadership reflection exercise. Number 3, select a value which you would like to give to yourself today, such as compassion, and give yourself that gift today. Give it to yourself. Number 2 is more about demonstrating it at work and at home. Number 3 is more about giving it to yourself, making sure you give it to yourself. 3 very powerful exercises to A, acknowledge a strength of yours, and B, amplify it. Make it stronger.
Very good.
So this secret number 3, acknowledging and amplifying strengths of self and others. Why is this important? How do you benefit? Well, if you have had your self-esteem dampened or kicked out of you, this will help you regain your self-power. I can't tell you, whether I'm working with royalty or presidents of companies or high-level government leaders, so many of them, for all kinds of reasons, have had their self-confidence kicked out. These are high-powered people, right? They appear to be strong on the outside, but boy, when you get them behind closed doors, these people are suffering, So allow this type of an exercise to help you regain your self-power, no matter what level you're at. And help your kids do it too, We have a 23-year-old, and she's a genius today because of this work. I wish I could tell you more stories about that, but she's a true genius. I started coaching her when she was 5 using these 5 secrets, and she just wins awards all over the place, and she's a nice person to boot. She's both a transactional and transformational leader. Number 2 reason why it's important to you, it will remind you to never give your power away again. I think it was Gandhi who said this. They cannot take away our self-esteem unless we give it to them. Maybe some of you remember. I tried to look online, and maybe I have the wrong phraseology, but it's something like that. So it reminds you to never give away your power again. 3, you will remember that people have forgotten their greatness. It's time to remember how truly great we are. Again, if we believe in what that gentleman said, I'm not going to say his name because you're going to send an email to Daryl to win a free book, huh?
I've got some people who've already sent some responses in.
Awesome. I hope they're right.
Well, there's different ones here, so I'm going, oh, someone's going to be right, someone's going to be not happy.
Oh, that's so cool. That's great. Okay. So that's fun to see that interaction. So we must remember that people have forgotten their greatness, and it's time for you as a leader to remember how great you are and to help your people be. Remember that our number 1 job as a leader is to create more leaders. Remember, our number 1 job as a leader is to create more leaders. So, the secret, I moved my mouse on the wrong place there. Secret number 3, acknowledging and amplifying strengths of self and others, using values-based leadership. This is how leaders like you are engaging their staff. And their employees are now also standing out like stars in their field. We have so many different tools to use for this. I just gave you 3, just to give you a little taste of them there. Ready for secret number 4? Okay. This is leading with both logic and heart. This is that one I told you at the beginning, Daryl, where, in the 90s when I first started my company, the leaders would say, don't give me any of this fluffy stuff, and then when I started doing the research, and this was in the early 2000s, so I don't know what the number is today, but at that time, 50% of all American companies had been sued by their employees. 50%. Wow. So there's some disgruntlement there. Not some, a huge amount of disgruntlement, yeah? Here in Canada, we don't sue like that, but we sue inside. And our productivity just goes out the window, right? We're just not, we become apathetic. We just don't perform. We come to work 9 to 5, collect our paycheck, go home. No accountability, no responsibility, or very little of it. Okay, so what's the secret about? To lead with both logic and heart means to become a balanced leader who is both a transactional leader and a transformational leader. You see this group of bubbles at the top here? These are actually yin-yang bubbles, and anybody who knows Chinese medicine understands that the Chinese believe that we've got a masculine and a feminine, yeah? Transactional leader is that masculine side, and the transformational is usually the feminine side. I was born left brain dominant as a transactional leader, and I want you to know that now I operate more so as a balanced leader, but I had to teach myself. I had to use these 5 secrets because I was unbearable. I don't even know how people could work with me back in the 80s. I wasn't a nice person. So learning how to be both a transactional and transformational leader with balanced masculine and feminine type of skills, the logic and heart piece is really vital in today's business world. People won't accept anything less. So let's take a look at some major behaviors of transactional leaders. Again, left brain stuff. Daring, risk-taker, adventuresome, decisive, inquisitive, self-assured, quick, analytical, persistent, systematic. That's left brain stuff. But right brain, look at the big difference. Trusting, influential, kind, compassionate, generous, poised, charming, confident, reflective, relaxed, stable, inspirational team person, connected to spirit. Their God self, their source, as Wayne Dyer says, whatever you want to call it, So look at the difference. So you can see what I mean by leaders having a balance of both. We need both. We need to be analytical. We need to read profit and loss statements. We need to know how to do cash flow projections and all that stuff. But we also need to know how to engage our people, create more leaders and stronger leaders, even better than us. Yeah? Egos need to go in the back garden. Here's some major competencies of transactional leaders. The previous one was behavioral-based. So competencies would be achieving results, making sure we know how to transform systems, focusing attention on corporate goals, understanding how effective organizations are run, financial acuity. That's all that left brain, yeah? Those are all those competencies there. And then the transformational leadership competencies are quite different. This is about leading self and leading self first, yeah? Being highly reflective on our own behaviors, working to discover our own blind spots, what is stuck in that subconscious mind that we don't know about, and working diligently to change our own unconstructive behaviors and patterns, and engaging others. I love what the Chinese, I don't have the slide here, it would have been fun to put it on, but the Chinese say that there are 4 ways for us to listen. We listen with our ears, we listen with our eyes, we listen with undivided attention, and just as important, we listen with our hearts. How does a leader listen with their heart? Wow, that's quite a question, isn't it? And we maintain clear communication. Major issue. Number 1 challenge in organizations is the communication. 3, develop coalitions, build partnerships and networks to create results, demonstrate commitment to employees and end-user customers, really understand what our beliefs are around them, remove our judgments of everyone. Take it away. Take that garbage away. We don't need it. It gets in the way of our success. And using a coaching skill set daily. One of our free self-coaching tools is called the Brain Walk. And thousands of people use that methodology. Every day, every week. I don't know what the numbers are. But it helps to quickly correct bad behaviors of self and others. Self-coaches daily to solve problems instantly. Within 5 minutes, you can have a solution to a problem or a challenge. How cool is that? Very cool. So once again, a balanced leader is both a transactional and transformational leader. So secret number 4, when you build this in, when you bring this into your being to lead with both logic and heart, how are you going to benefit? You will know that your decisions are more sound because they are being made with both sides of the brain, not just this analytical side or not just this creative side. It's a balanced decision. You will relax and celebrate your capabilities. You are now a balanced leader. People will see and feel your great power. Very little's missing. And you can sleep peacefully at night knowing that you are doing the very best job possible. Doesn't that feel good already, Daryl?
Yeah, I'm loving what you're sharing with us. If I could have an environment what you've talked about there, I'd be sleeping a lot better.
There you go. Well, I've been there, done that. I have the T-shirt, right? That's why I developed all this. So leading with both logic and heart, by leading with both logic and heart, leaders like you are now excelling. Both leaders and employees are shining stars. So it's not just you who's shining, but your people are now shining. That is so cool. Love it. Okay. In just a few minutes, I'll be sharing secret number 5. And the Be a Star coaching tool, the valuable gift for joining me today. I know that Melanie has already received the Be a Star coaching tool, and at the end, for those of you who attended, you will all receive that as a free gift. But first, I'd like to take just a few minutes, actually probably just a minute, to share with you a very special opportunity to go deeper in this learning if you've enjoyed what I've shared with you today, so that you can address all those challenges I identified earlier and turn them all around. You don't need them anymore. Get rid of it. It's old stuff, yeah? An opportunity specifically with you to become both a transactional and transformational leader and have the tools and skills to employ all of these secrets I shared here today. And it comes in the form of a 90-day corporate coach training program.
Wow.
And there I am. Oh, I forgot my picture was here. And there's John, so the 2 kayakers, right? So I invite you to go deeper into your learning and join John and I for the special 90-day corporate power coach training program. It's you can do it either distance learning or which is via live webinar like this or in person. You can acquire a corporate coaching skill set and learn the science of mind kinetics, which is our foundational science that I developed here at CLI. So in just 90 days, imagine, you will become outrageously impactful and engage every person at all levels of the organization and stand out like a star in your field. This sounds like unreachable, but I'm going to guarantee it. And if you don't get it, I will give you your money back.
Wow. That's incredibly powerful work that you've shared with us, Betska. A lot of people, I think, get locked into the mechanics or the process of the job, and they forget about themselves as a holistic person within the organization.
That's right. And, so there's the link there. Yeah, we do get stuck. And I'm going to share number 5, and then we can turn it into questions. Okay. Okay. So there's a link, CLI-global.com/90-day-training-program, and it'll show up on the screen here in a minute as well. And if you sign up before March 31st, $500 saving, and again, there is the guarantee. You'll get your money back if you don't experience what we're talking about. Secret number 5 to being a driver of positive change and growth, to use these methods for coaching and self-coaching daily. This is important. And how will this be important for you? Like the Be a Star model we're going to send you and what you would learn in this 90-day program. How will you benefit? Well, discover how brilliant you are. You will stream in solutions to challenges and goals just like Einstein did. Some people tell me that I developed this work. I must have brought it from another planet because it really is unusual and it's incredibly powerful. We designed it for corporate, and these are the people who are benefiting from it. You will kick out your blind spots. Do you need those old habits or negative thoughts anymore? Get rid of them, Awaken your giant and genius within. Your intuition will be blazing. Then you teach your children how to self-coach and save everyone's sanity. Take some of these materials, put them on the dining room table, and teach your kids how to do it as early as 5. And it's the key. This secret number 5 is the key to obtaining the 4 other secrets. That's why it's here at number 5. So, of course, you're going to learn whole brain power coaching with mind kinetics. I haven't even used that term here, but that's what you would be learning, how to coach and self-coach at the 90-day program. And you're going to be this happy guy here doing a happy guy dance. Okay, so let's quickly summarize the 5 secrets. Activate whole brain thinking, left brain, right brain, conscious, subconscious, superconscious. Just know how to activate all that stuff. Make sure your beliefs in your conscious and subconscious are congruent. 3, amplify your strengths for self and others, like respect and faith and self-love and understanding and honesty. Such powerful beliefs, powerful values. Number 4, become a balanced leader. Be both a transactional and transformational leader. By the way, those programs I talked about, the 90-day, they're on-site in Romania in May, Canada in May, I think, as well, and distance learning all kinds of times, and we're also happy to come to your country. If we're available, of course, we can talk about it. Okay. Secret number 5, coaching and self-coaching daily. It's the key to your success. And remember, your free gift, the Be a Star coaching model, Melanie will send that out, that has an MP3 training. I teach you how to use it. So pretty easy. And when you receive the Be a Star and the recording, your homework is to do the self-coaching using the Be a Star. Coach yourself first, and then coach an employee, and then bring your questions to the Corporate Power Coach program, and we'll answer them there. Yeah. Finishing off, Albert Einstein, the significant problems we face today cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them. We have to go above the problem. We have to go to a higher frequency. And Einstein knew all about frequency and vibration. So there you go. Last slide. Here's the link again, CLI-global.com/90-day training program. And you can send questions to our wonderful marketing person, Shandora, at coachingandleadership.com. She's also in charge of the whole training program. So Shandora at coachingandleadership.com. No S, no H in her name, just S. Shandora is how we pronounce it. Okay, look at that, Daryl. I did it. I can't believe it. Woohoo!
Well done. What a whole stack of content. How generous you are.
It's fun. I love there is so much more, but this was just a taste of the depth of the research we've done and the fun we have and the transformation that's happening and the ROIs that our clients are getting. And that's what I think organizations need today. They want a bang for their buck, huh?
And you've talked about one of the questions we've got here, and of course I've got people asking about who that picture was, but the first question I've got is, how long does it take to make a lasting change in someone's style?
How does it take? Well, in every given coaching session, if I was coaching you or you were coaching an employee or something, if it's on let's say it's trust, you're working on trusting your employees, yeah? It depends on the beliefs in your subconscious mind. We call it the diamond concept. We can shift it in one session, one 90-minute session. It can be shifted. But if there are a lot of beliefs, negative beliefs in the subconscious around trust, we just keep working at it until it's all gone. And that's why we encourage our clients to self-coach using the brainwalk and other methodologies that we give them. They get a coaching journal, and their job is to self-coach in between our coaching sessions. We don't let them off the hook, you know. This is about making sure they do so sometimes it can switch in one coaching session. I've seen it miraculously happen, but I need to be fair with you and say that sometimes it can take longer. Yeah.
Okay.
Good question.
We've got. Thank you. Thank you for the listener who is actually coming from Malaysia for that one. We have probably two similar questions, but I'll address them separately. We've got a couple of scenarios here. Okay. We've got a scenario from John who's coming from Los Angeles. He's talking about he's got a salesperson in his team that complains about the client's lack of feedback and wasting time. It's every time he has a one-on-one with him, it's quite negative about his client base, and it seems to be quite a blame game. And he doesn't know how to change that belief system or how to approach it.
Yeah. So, John, you know, your salesperson's their beliefs and their subconscious need to be changed. They should never think negatively about their clients. If they think negatively about their clients, they're never going to attract them. They're never, you know, the clients are not going to trust them. That has to be gotten rid of. Yeah. And it's very simple. You know, it's so easy to put the blame on someone else. So I always say to my leaders, you know, when you're blaming someone else, you want to look inside yourself first. What are your beliefs? Yeah? And then, John, being straightforward with you, you need to look at your beliefs around your salespeople too. Right.
Okay. So that you believe that John may have some things that are worth him looking at about how we trust his own sales stuff.
And not only that, John, why are you attracting these negative salespeople? We need to get rid of that. You don't want to hold on to that, do you? No. You want to attract positive ones.
Very good. Well, we've got Samantha, who's coming from Perth in Australia, and she's asked a question. She has a staff in her team who come to her and say, yes, we should do that. We're in agreement with your idea and your plan, and I really want to do it. And when they go off to their desks and actually start doing the mechanics of their job, she invariably finds that things don't get done to the level of quality or volume that was first indicated. At first it starts with a rush of enthusiasm, and then at the end of the day, invariably she finds them on social media such as Instagram and Pinterest browsing instead of actually doing what they said they do.
So you know what I would do, Samantha? You're going to get the Be a Star coaching model. And step one is identifying the roadblocks. So I would gather your team together. Practice this a little bit on others first before you do it with your team, okay? Practice it on yourself. Practice it with a friend. And get your team together. And what you're going to do is on a flip chart, you're going to put one piece of paper is going to be emotional roadblocks. Next page will be intellectual roadblocks. Next page will be spiritual roadblocks, and next is physical roadblocks. And you're going to ask your team to identify what are their emotional, intellectual, spiritual, and physical roadblocks to doing what they actually said they were going to do.
Very good.
And coach it out. Coach it out. You're looking at the problem holistically then. Yeah? There's something in the emotional, spiritual side that's stopping them.
What for our listeners, what would be an example of a spiritual block?
Oh, a spiritual block. Lack of faith in self, lack of faith in the boss, lack of respect for clients, it has all to do with those values that I put up on the screen.
Right. An emotional block, or are you talking about anger and frustration?
Yeah, big heavy emotions. Like we have when we're coaching people, and when our leaders come and learn a coaching skill set, we give them a sheet of 50 positive behaviors and 50 unconstructive feelings, 50 positive feelings and 50 unconstructive feelings. Because you know what? Most people in organizations today do not have an emotional vocabulary.
Mm.
So we help them out. People need to learn, how to express themselves in a positive way, without hurting anybody's spirit.
Mm.
Bring it all out. Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, one of the questions, and this comes from again Alex. It's a different Alex. Alex is coming from Tasmania. She's asked. You've got a big values list there. Where does someone start? And if they've started with one, and she's afraid that she might lose momentum on it if she gets distracted onto the next one.
Well, you can just focus on the ones that are the most important. And if you have an iPad, the iPad is going to guide you anyway, because for the CLI values cards, they're going to pop up on the screen, and you're going to tap. Intuitively, you're going to select a value, and let's say respect comes up. Then you just focus on that one for the day or the week, whatever you want to do. Take it in your stride. Don't overwhelm yourself, huh?
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. And two last questions. We've got a question that's come from an anonymous listener, and he or she's asked, he believes that she's not capable of doing any networking, yet it's a core part of her role where she's expected from management to go out and network. But she finds that she's usually in the corner having a glass of champagne, or he's in the corner having a glass of champagne instead of actually
networking,
engaging.
Yeah. So, sorry, go ahead.
So the question really is around, is she in the role, or is it something else that she needs to be looking at? She likes her job, but she just finds that's a real key point that she can't get past.
Yeah. So, anonymous caller, the question I would ask you is, around networking, what is really, really, really bothering you deep down at a heart level about that? And think about that answer, because that's going to be your answer. What's really, really, really bothering you deep down at a heart level about networking, and find out what it is, and then use the Be a Star coaching model to kick it out. And use the Be a Star coaching model in itself, because you're going to self-coach to get to the root of this. But I suspect just with that one question I asked you that will be of value to you.
Very good. And of course, our last question, which is coming from our listeners, is who was the guy? So we've got a few people who have come in and provided some what they believe is the answer to your photo.
Okay. Are you going to tell me these names now?
I can read out. I've got two names that keep popping up, so I'm really hoping it won't. One of them's the person.
Okay.
And I must admit, I didn't even know who the person is, and I don't even know how to pronounce these people's names. So my apologies to them if I've actually mispronounced their name. So we've got a large proportion asking if it's Swami Vivekananda.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hey, it's good enough to read out the other ones.
So how many got Swami Vivekananda?
We had 9 that had Swami. That was the leading answer. So congratulations to those that have picked that one.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Tell you what, I for all of those who got the right answer, I will send all of you a book.
Geez, you're generous.
Yeah, there you go, just for fun. Just for a riot here. Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations to all of you for a great job and such wonderful questions. Wow, it shows me that you were engaged. So I'm so honored that you've joined me here today. And I need to say to you too that while we have done extensive research here, I opened my session here today with 25 years of research. we are ongoing in our research. There's so much we don't know about human behavior, but with the science that we've developed here, we know it's life changing, and just very happy to share it with you here today, and would love the opportunity to work with you in the future. Thank you so much.
A pleasure, Betska, and I've really enjoyed what you've had to share with us. It certainly indicates that you go to a much deeper level of coaching than what a lot of the other coaches that are out there are using as tools to really apply to the whole of the person, and not just the mechanics of doing the job. So thank you. I think we'd love to have you back next year when we run this summit again.
For sure, and I'd love to come to Australia in person to do some training there, so welcome me. Love to come.
You're always welcome.
Okay, folks, thank you for being with me here today. Okay.
Very good. Well done.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Hi. Well, that was Betska. No, I really hope you got some enjoyment out of the talk there. Certainly I did. I think for those who'd like to get in contact with Betska, of course, we've got her contact details on the slides, but if you do prefer, you can email us through the webinar software and we'll be able to pass on the details to you. And if you're on the phone at the moment, feel free to pop an email to Melanie at macrorecruitment.com.au with 1L, and we'll pass that on as well to Betska. Congratulations to those who committed themselves to putting an answer on the table and winning the MP3 and the coaching. For those who are online at the moment, we do have another speaker coming up very shortly. We've got at 11 o'clock, we have Tommy Shavers from the US. He's talking about leaders think, 3 things every leader must think about. That's around 11 o'clock, so be sure to join us for that session, and that's about 18 minutes away. And to join us with that session, come back to the Leadership Summit website and click on the schedule, and you'll be able to press the Attend Now button next to Tommy's name. Very good. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to having you in our next session, 11 o'clock. I'm Daryl Keeley. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Bye for now.
The moderator has left the conference.